would encourage maybe the audience to maybe close their eyes during this poem. Working Class Dreams by Stephen Karwoski. To the dreams that died on the plow, evaporating with the dew like steam from newly laid dung. The plowman's dreams drifts up to heaven, dissipating to be forgotten or downloaded at a later date. To the dreams that fell with a thud on the meat-packing floor like fat gristle and XX carcass. When the whistle blew, these ideas, these dreams fell away. Ice caps melting, dissolved in the ocean of dead lives, rent to be paid, shoved out of consciousness to give room for survival needs. This open space of the mind where dreams expand and gestate, this fetus aborted, miscarriage, generation after generation, morning after morning, workday after workday for centuries. These workers' lives had no room for such fancies, such luxury, such selfish exploration. Whose child will give, no take, no demand this space, the time, the place to summons the dream? Whose child will produce more creative endeavors than simple, pure labor? Mine or my father's? The cow has been fed and milked, the field sown, plowed, and harvested. Garments have been sewed and repaired, ships loaded and unloaded, children raised, mortgages paid. But at what price? The price of the dream of the mind? So that's my poem. And I wanted to just give you some background on it. I wrote that poem when I was a substitute teacher at Roosevelt Middle School in San Francisco. And I wrote it, and San Francisco, or Roosevelt Middle School was built in the turn of the last century. And it is brick and wood. And I just imagine particularly my grandmother, my Polish grandmother, attending a school like this. And now there I was in front of the room. And I had worked several jobs at the point: substitute teaching, waiting tables, theater house manager, just to support my creative endeavors. And I sat there trying to get some writing done before the bell rang, and I had to start working. And the kids came in, and I just reflected, how many times were the dreams of the mind short-circuited by the start of a workday? When have in my family's history we had any spare time or additional wave band or space to contemplate anything? Dreams, creative dreams, aspirations? We didn't get the opportunity to explore because we didn't have the time. Poor and working class people don't have the luxury of time for contemplation. And what emerged, though, during this coursework and during this exercise was, as June defines in Social Justice, Multicultural Counseling and Practice, dichotomous thinking. Is that mentality just my perception of us versus them? Is this just dichotomous thinking? Is it my own victimization? Or is it just a case of the reality of the construct of race and class in America? This lack of extra time allowed to the poor and the working class is just not our lot in life. As is written by Wilkerson in Caste, the costumes were handed out at birth and can never be removed. The costumes cue everyone in the cast to the roles each character is to play and to each place on stage. So is it just all really baked in? that inability to have time? Is it just a construct of the socioeconomic pyramid that Kivel talks about in Uprooting Racism? I mean, I can place myself and my family in this pyramid, in the economic class structure, and there we are. The working classes always just sit slightly above the poor. And this simple seeing my family right in the tapestry of American history is amazing. Or the poor working class disallowed the potential for dreams and aspirations due to the practical need of work? Is it rigged? Is the whole system rigged? Where is the value and importance in society for downtime. The line in the poem, "No, demand this space, the time, the place to summons the dream," reminds me of the Proclaimers, the Scottish band's song called Cap in Hand, which they recorded in 2000 and, no, 1998, but was used for the Scottish campaign for independence in 2014. This is the line that I love from it. "We fight when they ask us. We boast, then we cower. We beg for a piece of what's already ours." And I think this wonderfully illustrates the poor and working class mentality, the need to ask or demand for something. In the case of the Scots, independence, but the poor and the working class need to ask. And in my personal case, time, space. Can we have some extra space? And this part of the reflection surfaced as I looked through my family, and I wonder, where are the artists? Where are the creatives? Where were they? And I really didn't see that. They weren't there. I wondered, maybe was this a maladapted mentality? Like, we don't do that? Or is it just a mathematical fiscal reality of the work week for the poor and the working class? I don't know. I do know that my dad mopped floors on the weekends to put us through Catholic school. I do know that. So there was that reality. My mom spent all of her time taking care of us in the home. But am I falling into dichotomous thinking? I think not, as I know firsthand how difficult it is to pursue the dreams and to pay rent. It's not easy. I'll just leave you with this. It's the last part of the show that follows directly after when I did the performance. And it is, and my life unfolds, and my life unfolds, and my life unfolds. Thank you.